In this video, we talk about how the top real estate agents find comps on your home and value their listings, why this is important to understand, and what it all means to you. All that and more, and quickly, because listen, Zestimates are not real comp values. Stay tuned, this is Vasilios, and you're watching Fastlane. If this is your first time on this channel and you want to get the latest actionable tips from a local realtor that actually save you time, save you money, and result in a smooth real estate deal, give us a like, hit the subscription button below, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any content. Now, onto it. Hey YouTube, today we're talking about how the top real estate agents find comps. Pulling comps is important. You want to know the value of the property that you're going to list or the value of the property that your buyer wants to put an offer in on. So when you pull comps, you are trying to find the fair market value of said property. Now, in the home buying process, there's one other person that also pulls comps, and that's an appraiser. Now, generally speaking, an appraiser is going to be a little more conservative in this market when pulling comps. However, it's also good to know to be as accurate as possible. That way you don't run into any issues down the road later on in the home buying and selling process. I reference both sides in the deal in terms of buyers and sellers and what the steps provide for each side. There are 7 steps in the process of pulling proper comps on a property. Number 1, you want to start with a very small sample area. Agents put sales and listings from a specific neighborhood that you are targeting. As you know, neighborhoods can change from one to another, and that plays a huge role and impacts the home's value. Top agents use actual sales data because those are actual concrete numbers. You cannot use listing prices or contingent or homes in escrow because you just don't know what the final sales price will be. There could be issues with the home, the price may have been reduced, so you get an incorrect value when using those type of comps. This is why it's very important to use actual sales data. When you're searching and trying to define your boundaries, you want to try not to cross major streets or school district lines, and keep an eye out for neighborhoods that are in the same age range. These criteria can drastically impact your final numbers. Number 2, you want to see all recent sales and listings. When agents run comps, they really want to stay in the most recent history. Present back to about 3 months is ideal, or even a little bit further back to 6 months is okay. The only time I'd recommend going past that is if you have a very unique property or unique location, if you're in a very volatile market. It's also wise to take into consideration what cycle the market is currently in. Basically, what season of the market, what time of year it is. Generally, real estate has softer sales starting in the fall. So if your agent is only coming up with a few listings, you might have to expand the time frame to get better data. Number 3, you want to keep your comp approach apples to apples. Now, you really want to try and look at similar sized homes. First, you want to start with like-sized homes. We are talking square footage. As an example, if the subject home is 1,800 square feet and you want to look at a range of about 1,600 to 2,000 square feet. Secondly, it's important to get homes that have the same number of bedrooms and or baths. If your subject home has 3 bedrooms, ideally you want to be looking at 3-bedroom actual solds that are 1,800 square feet or as close to that as possible. Now, there is a dark magic side to comping homes. Finding homes that don't have amenities such as your subject property. For example, if your subject property has an in-ground pool and your comps don't reflect that amenity, then you need to determine what the value of the pool adds to said house and use that number and add or subtract it to equal your current comp. This is where the science kind of takes a back seat and all that art kind of takes over. Number 4, search old similar sales. It's advised that you take a look back over the past year or so in that specific neighborhood so you can see what similar sized homes have sold for. This history will give you a deeper data so you can understand that specific market in that neighborhood. It will reinforce your list price and or the value set on the property and strengthen the current price and ensure the value makes sense in regards to past trends. Now, if you're looking at a home that is unique in design, build, or location, you may need to consider comps and or sales over multiple years to get the best value assessment. Number 5, expand your search into neighboring areas. So we started with a pretty small search area initially, but expanding your area, maybe into a close by neighborhood, can help provide additional comp data that may pull up or push down the value of your subject property. This may also include homes for your buyer not previously thought of. Number 6, use comps in outlying neighborhoods if you need them. If sales are sparse and there aren't many comps that you can pull proper data out of, you may expand a little bit into provide data to support your listing price. It's important not to just cherry pick the higher sales data from another subdivision. It's also important to include homes above and below your initial set price, as to not be biased. Certain questions to ask yourself would be if a buyer shopping in this avenue will also be shopping in this side of the neighborhood, or even would a buyer pay the same price for that home in both areas. These can help determine if the subdivision you are interested in pulling more comps from makes sense. Number 7, avoid using the wrong price per square foot. Now, price per square foot is the sold price over the actual square footage. Now, this number can also be used to help to come up with list prices and verify the value of prospective home purchase. But you need to be wary of which price per square foot ratio that you are using. It's important to be very selective if you're using this figure to help solidify your data. Different neighborhoods, sometimes even different streets, command different price per square foot ratios. For example, if a home that's 2,000 square feet sells for $400K, that would make the price per square foot $200. It may be easier just to take that 200 metric and apply it to other homes right away. However, you really need to make sure those homes are in similar size, similar upgrades, similar appeal, condition, and especially location. Though you might find that other comps might have a slightly higher price per square foot, say $225 range, but those homes might be at a higher list price or entirely different neighborhood. That in turn would skew numbers and comp value would be vastly incorrect. Now, not every agent pulls comps like this. I mean, there really isn't any standard set of steps that every single agent needs to follow. However, these steps are what the top agents follow in this area and take all these factors into consideration before giving you their value on your property. These are the steps that I recommend to all agents. Also, keep in mind the actual style of the property. If you're looking at a cape, you need to be pulling comps for a cape. If you're looking at a ranch, you need to be looking and pulling comps, well, for, a ranch. Hey guys, if there's anything in the world that you want to talk about or have a question, reach out anytime. Really, no obligation. 508-821-8835. Could be about the weather, cars, racing, real estate, whatever. Now, if you like this video, then check these at the top of your screen. And if you need a guy like me, I have a guy like me's info in the description below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.